Oh, whoops. We wanted that. Okay. Let's do share screen here. Screen. Okay. Do you need copies?
I have 12 of everything.
Do you want me to make more?
I think there's 12 in here right now. We're getting
Okay.
more.
I don't know. Where do you have your things saved?
Oh, that's a good question. Let's see.
Always asking the hard questions like, what's your password? Where's it saved?
I don't know.
Finally took them down. 2 months too late.
Yeah,
Just so that if anyone pops in, you can hear it.
45 minutes late. 45 minutes late.
Okay. Just wanted to save it. I didn't know.
Oh, yeah, so you don't lose it.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Yes. You're good. It's giving you like presenter mode on yours, but on here it's always showing one. Oh, you hit something for subtitles. With that.
This right here.
Now it's off.
We're
It
good?
was listening and writing.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Larry.
You're welcome. Hello, everybody. Good. So thanks for joining. So this is hot off the press. So Lisa and I met last week and worked on our 2023 business plan. And our goal is to do $1 million gross commission. Yes. So we've never done $1 million gross commission. But our goal in 2023 is to do $1 million gross commission. We're lucky to have a nice average sale price. So based on our average sale price, we need to sell 76 homes on average. So we came up with a plan to do that, 76 homes. So what I thought we would do is talk a little bit about the available market, talk about our, Lisa and I, my goal setting worksheet and our annual plan, and how we're gonna maintain accountability throughout the year. Because it's all about what? Right? Doing it. Yeah, being accountable. You can have a great plan, but if you don't execute. So before I start, this is my thing, right? Is the available market. And you know, we can talk about the available market, but until you really get a grasp on what the available market means or is, you can't really appreciate. So when I say available market, what am I talking about?
The houses that are out there.
Yes. Yeah. So we know, because we can go into Trend or Bright, what is it called? Bright. And we can go in and we can see how many homes sold in the last 12 months is exactly what we did to prepare for our meeting. And here's the Bucks County right out of Bright, sorry. So just in round numbers, right? If you go down units sold from last November, December, and then year to date 2022. Anybody see that number? What is it?
76.
Yeah, 7456, right? So let's just say 7,500 what? Homes sold. And the good news is we get paid on each side, right? So there's a buyer side and a seller side. So there were 15,000 commission checks paid out, right? Sides, 7,500 closed sales, and right, this is Bucks County. And so there are 15,000 sides. So you talk about 15,000 sides, and Lisa and I want to do 76 of them. I wanted to come up with a visual. So we did. And you can see this. I'm going to lift it up. So in here are 15,000 gumballs, each representing a buyer or a seller. So the good news is the gumballs came in boxes of 5,000. So we didn't have to count it out. We just put 15,000 transactions. And here are 76. $1 million of GCI. So when you look at the available market, right? I thought this was a great visual. Yeah. Right? Can be done. Can be done. It's not like we want to sell 76 and there are 82 homes available to sell. We want to sell 76. And that's just Bucks County, right? We're licensed in Jersey. We do some business in Montgomery County, an occasional deal in the city. So this is just Bucks County. That was my.
Yeah, I got it. I was thinking of that. For a visual, it doesn't get better than that.
So we're going to be completely transparent. We're going to share our numbers and our plan. So when we first got started, we went back last year to 2021. It was our best year ever. We had a great 2021. We went on 61 listing appointments. We listed 52 homes, 47 of them sold. We had 35 sales for a total of 82 transactions. We did just over 40 million. Our average sale price in 21 was 463,000. We made 755,000 gross. We're projecting to end the year here. 68 listing appointments, 34 listings, 31 of them sold, 21 sales for a total of 52 transactions between the two of us. It's going to be about 30 million. Our average sale price really jumped up. And this year will end a lot less than we did the year before.
That's a reflection, you think, of interest rates or?
No, time off. Absolutely.
Too many vacations.
See, we took some of this and we went on vacation. We went to Italy, we went to Greece. We did a few. Yeah, no question. What would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Time off.
Time off. We took August
Don't you
off.
agree, though, that the numbers before that too are equally important, like, let's say 2020, 2019 and 18, or
Yes,
balance of 21, like, you know, because 21 was kind of an anomaly that
Yeah.
everyone had.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So,
just
yes.
yeah.
Although just because of our business, we're kind of new at this. So Lisa had a full-time job prior to this.
Okay.
So this is
you're-
really what we
this is your-
jumped in.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And we've been selling, I guess, for about 4 or 5 years, 4 years, because I was a team leader here when I first started, really didn't sell. And then when Adam took over is when we jumped in. So for this year, our goal has always been, for the last couple of years, to go on 100 listing appointments. We figured if we go on 100 listing appointments and we can control that number, this will be the result. There's no question, probably more than this. But of the 100 listing appointments, we want to take 57 listings. We want to sell 46 of them 30 sales for a total of 76 transactions. Here they are. It will bring us just over 40 million. Our average sale price will make it just budgeting downward a little bit. So it would give us a total gross commission income of $1 million. But to Mary Ann's point, yeah, people go back to 20 and 19 and yeah.
Because I think it's been hard to project even when I was kind of, even talking about switching over to KW, right? They weren't looking at my 2020 and 2021 years. They didn't want to do that, which was, I thought respectable. That makes a lot of sense, right? Because that was kind of not necessarily representative of what you can always do.
Yeah.
So they're kind of inflated numbers.
So when you say that, I agree and I disagree.
Okay.
Because when I have gone back year over year, I would say for the last decade, there has been somewhere close to 7,500 transactions in Bucks County. 7,200, 7,500, 7,400. So my point is, there's been 15,000. This available market hasn't really changed all that.
No, I agree with you there. I'm 100% on agree with you there. I think I was looking at like when you said in 2021 it's 755.
Yeah.
And you go in 2022 is 595. 755 is because you're known in the area. That's where you thrived in an area where you have a sphere.
Yes.
They were just calling.
Yes.
You were an order taker,
Yes.
right? So like, I guess my point is I'm super impressed by your 595, more so than your 755 in 21.
Yeah. So this and we took off. We took off quite a bit.
Right.
But yeah, thank you. But keep in mind, for those that don't have a sphere of influence, and there's still the available market. There's still 15,000 plus or minus in the county of available sales, and we're anticipating the next 12 months another 7,500. It's not like it's going to drastically fall off. I'm sorry. Sure.
So I was today in a local market where it's a big Russian community, and I saw a very known Russian real estate agent advertising himself on the TVs. When you shop, the TVs come on and you can see this, that, and third. And he was like, "Oh, I'm going to sell your home for 3.75 commission, and it's all inclusive." So knowing that yes, there are that many homes for sale, but when you're going into an appointment, now he was declaring it right off bat that he's cool with that. But you are going to go on the appointment, try to get the max commission amount, right? You're not going to go in heavy in your.
Tell me your first name.
No.
No. Thank you. So yes, and you did bring it up, so I'm going to share with you. We struggled this year in getting our full brokerage. So I think part of the reason if you do the math, it's going to look a little bit different. In 2021, Lisa and I did a better job getting 6% commissions. We put everything out at 2.5, and we kept 3.5. That's how we operate.
There you go. That's.
It's reflected in 2021. In 2022, we had a harder time getting our fee. So you'll see if you do the math, our average commission rates came way down. We did the math.
And that's a big difference.
By adjusting our real estate commission, we probably left well over $100,000. Well over 100,000. But that's a different class. So here's what we use. I'm going to pass it around, and it's not the first time you've seen this. I only have 12 copies of it. But we wanted to break down how we're going to get to $1 million.
Oh, thanks, Ron.
So I have it on the overhead. So you can see where it says $1 million gross commission income. Yes. Here. And then we did a little budgeting exercise, and we spend about $15,000 a month in our real estate related expenses. That's 180,000 for the year. We owe Keller Williams 23,000 and then 3,000 in royalty. So for total of 26. So our net income this 2023, we're hoping to take home 794. Make $1 million, or bring in $1 million, pay our operating expenses and Keller Williams and net 794. Any questions on that part of the formula? Pretty simple, basic.
What's the 15,000 expenses made up from every month?
So that's a good question. So we have all of your what we could call real estate related, right? So it's all of our dues and all of our brochures and all of our printing and all of our mailing campaign. You know, if we go out for lunch or for dinner, it could be a real estate related expense. Our automobiles are in there. So not pretty much everything we can get in and more, right? Because that's what we're going to tell the accountant that we are write-offs.
How much of it would be marketing and
You know,
real marketing? Not
yeah, so we spend probably, I'm going to say about 15,000 on a mailing campaign.
annual.
And I mean, everything was selling, so we really didn't have to carry too much inventory. What else do we spend money on? I mean, we do signs and some printing. Yeah, we do not buy leads. So we're going to talk a little bit about what we're going to do, because we're only going to do 3 things this year. So anyway, so you got $1 million gross. We have our operating expenses. We have the cost of sales, which is the KW, and then our net. So we want, like this year, we pretty much did almost 50-50. Our buyer side and our seller side was pretty close. We really want to move towards more sellers. So we're hoping that 60% of the $1 million will come from sellers and 40% from buyers. And then if you just take all this all the way down, right? So 600,000 of the $1 million will come from sellers, 400,000 from the $1 million will come from buyers. We're using an average of 2.5. That's pretty much what we're getting. So 24 million in sales volume on the listing side, 16 million. So that's for a total of 40 million in sales. Our average sale price, we're going to plug in at 525. So ultimately, we need to 46 sold listings, 30 buyer side sales for a total of, that's our 76 transactions. And then what the worksheet allows you to do is play out, you know, your conversion rates. So this is arbitrary. I really haven't tracked our conversion rates, but this is kind of what the templates show us. So this is not extremely accurate because I don't know our conversion rates, but this is what the templates have you set. So if you want 46 of your listings to sell, you need to list 57 homes. And if you want to have 30 buyer side sales, if you're selling 4 out of 5, you need 38 buyer agency agreements, so to speak. Yes. 57 listing agreements, 38 buyer agency agreements, which should yield 30 closed sales and 46 sold listings. Anyway, we do a little bit more math because you need to go on a lot of appointments to get your listings. So if we could get 3 out of 4 listing appointments, anyway, we need to go on 76 listing appointments. We put 100 right on the first page. So we're shooting for 100, but this formula plays out to 76. And then we need to get in front of 51 buyers for 127 appointments. Yes. And then, yeah, so we need to get in front of 127 buyers and sellers. We need 127 bona fide appointments. We decided we want to work 44 weeks, so we'll take 8 weeks off. And we need to ultimately go on 3, between the 2 of us, 3 appointments each week. And if we do that for 44 weeks, we'll hit 127 appointments with buyers and or sellers. Yes?
I know everybody does things differently, but she did say that she was doing the same thing. And one of the expenses that she decided to eliminate was fillers.
Mhm.
But you did mention that it was the biggest expense, almost the biggest.
So we do. We were very inconsistent with our mailing effort this year. We were better in 2021. I do believe that the mailing campaign, if it's consistent, meaning to the same people, yeah, the branding does work for us. We do get people that say, we're getting mail from you, or when we're on a listing appointment, our mailer is sitting on the kitchen table. So whether or not it's the source of our business, I think it really reinforces our business. But it's expensive. It's expensive. Yeah. So we did commit to doing it this coming year. I'm going to share with you what we're
How many do
doing.
you mail out? How?
So we're going to mail 1,500 a month. We don't. We have a specific mailing list. The challenge with every door direct is it's a geographic area. And we have more of a sphere of influence, past customer.
What about the US Postal Service? Have you guys done that for the bulk now?
Yeah, we do. Well, we do it through, I've used Minuteman Press in Newtown with the bulk. They do or Sir Speedy right here around the corner. They're both coming in around $1 a piece by the end of the day.
Both the large postcard?
Yeah, the oversized postcard. I didn't bring one with me, but it's an oversized.
Printed end now with what?
Yeah, color front, color back, printed. They even lay it out, print it, and they deliver it to put the stamp on it and deliver it to the post office. So I don't have to do anything. So we have a database, our database that we've been adding to. We have our sphere of influence on the database. We have our past customers in the database. We have the people that we've gone on listing appointments that we haven't gotten yet, or they haven't listed yet. We stick them. And then you'll see in our business plan that we are huge advocates of open houses. Now, we don't put everybody into our database, only if they're a bona fide lead, right? And we'll talk a little bit about what I mean by that.
Once we sold a home or listed a home in a neighborhood, we'll often send out to that neighborhood, especially if it just sold. People are no
It is funny, I don't know if you were, last the other day, but you were. And I said, like, I don't know if I need to do both, just listed, just sold.
Yeah.
Right, it's kind of duplicate effort.
Yeah.
You just listed, who cares, you can see the sign.
Right. In the market we're in, I think the just solds are more powerful.
And I gotta be admit, I mean, just listed, it would be sold before we got.
Yeah.
So I eliminated it, yeah.
So this is our plan. We need 57 listings, 46 of them to sell, plus the 30 buyer sides for a total of 76.
So is your reduction of the commission rate on the selling side
Yes.
directly influence the close rate on the getting the listing? I mean, like how influential is that?
Yeah, so, we in our 2022 business, we reduced our fee to, we think, to get the listing, right? So we're gonna try really hard this year to say no 2 times and then say yes.
What do you think about that?
Well, it's interesting because I sometimes I'm a little too direct, but I personally think you worked very hard last year, all of us did, but you didn't work hard at selling the house. So a reduced commission was okay, because you weren't marketing and advertising the property, you wanna do multiple open houses, you wanna using all of your resources. So I think that the balance of it is acceptable. Do you see what I mean? And that's why you went down on your commission, that's why I went down on my commission. Because you wouldn't have gotten the listing, right? So it doesn't make sense to lose a listing, to try to get 6% to get 0.
Yeah, so that's what we said last year.
Exactly, so you have to be okay with that, but the other thing is, you know, from the year before, let's say 2020 or 2019. And it's gonna change now for well, it's changing now because I have listings that are sitting on the market, I'm having conversations with my seller, I'm kind of doing reductions and all that. I have to work a lot harder, right, for the listings now, which will constitute your 6% again.
Yeah.
So I guess my point is that on the market like that, you couldn't stand for 6%, or you would have lost a lot. So you
Well,
have
that's
to
what,
take
you know,
that.
that's what that was our conversation, you know,
Exactly.
we're probably off almost close to 1%. So 1% on $40 million is what? $400,000 of income. Now, I'm not saying we left $400,000 of income on the table, but we left a lot. And, you know, there's gotta be a place where is it okay to lose one? Because looking back, I think if we held the line more, we still would have gotten the majority of the listings.
I actually don't really, I didn't feel that way. I felt like everything was moving so fast. You don't have 2 times. You wouldn't have had 2 times to do it. So I guess my point is that you did have more time off because you also got more money. Because you also.
Right.
So.
Yes, I don't disagree with that. However.
But the switch is what I'm worried about. How do we get back up there? So now you have.
Well, yeah. So how do we get back up there? And I don't feel like I'm making too much money last year or this year. Like I'm okay making more. So meaning I don't think that I'm overcharging anybody, even this year.
No, it's just like in a competitive market,
Yes.
buyers needed to come to the table with more money.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, we lost a ton.
So the buyers lost money.
Yeah.
Correct? Right, they overpaid for houses. We had to overpay for, you know, what I mean, like it all.
Right, in the market, you're saying in the market we're in.
Right,
we're
the
in.
market we're in. So I think that there's gonna be a time where sellers are gonna still think that they're ruling the roost and that they can get anything, and there's gonna be a change where we're gonna be able to justify our rate of 6%, but it's gonna take some time.
Yeah, yeah, it's
So
not gonna happen.
we're gonna go out, I'm gonna go out with 6% every single time, I'm not gonna go out with any 5s, I've never gone out with 5s. Unless it was a repeat customer that I've already kind of had a relationship with, and I'm not sure if I should have done that either, so I'm learning that from a lot of agents, so like, why, they don't want to pay you less.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And there's a lot between 5 and 6, there's a whole,
Yeah.
and so we don't have to go to 6, we can sell at 5.5, we don't have to go.
Right, you don't have to go from 6 to 5. And oftentimes, you don't even have to talk percentages. Some people just want to win, right?
Yeah.
So you can say, well, let's say it's a $500,000 house, 1% of 500,000. So you don't have to go from 6 to 5. You can go from 6 to 5.5, or just say, I'm going to take our 6% and we'll reduce it by $1,000. So it'll be 6% less $1,000. It doesn't have to always be in percentages. And you'll end up better at the end of the day.
I think, you know, I know little things like, in different markets, I think you try different things, so like, I started thinking about, because I'm going back to all the stuff that I did over 15 years and what I think really worked at certain times. And offering your 6%, but with a home warranty,
Mhm.
right? I used to say the home warranty, I didn't really like to sell it on the sign, because I did that, right? And so that kind of brought the buyers, they were excited. But then again, when they did the inspections is when I like to take the warranty out, that I would say, and we'll give you a home warranty, that would be mine.
Right.
So you kind of,
Yeah,
so I'm thinking like now it's a changing market. I've never been in this market. I'm sure you guys haven't been either, right? I started out in a very, very low market, it was the total opposite,
Mhm.
right? We had tons and tons of inventory and no buyers. So it's just interesting. I think we'll reintroduce things to justify your 6% easily.
Yes,
You know? So I
agreed.
think that's what I'm looking for, like ideas for that, like, or for something like $500 home is, you know, not a home warranty.
Mhm,
It's a very reasonable thing off of your 6%.
Yes,
And
yes.
they're thrilled with it.
And they're thrilled, right? They feel they got something, right?
Because they're also, they have the warranty for the period that they are.
Yeah, so it goes, the warranty goes into effect from the time you list the property until settlement, and then 1 year for the buyer.
Yeah, so like as we're on the market for 2 months or 3 months, that's valuable to a seller.
Yep.
Especially the older sellers. They're like, oh, and I'm like, no, you're under warranty now. You know, so like we could kind of reintroduce that when you're.
Yep.
You know,
That's good, that's smart.
So you'll just say if you go with 6%, and then if they hedge a little bit of their, they'll say, oh, can you do better, or I have another agent that's offering 5.5% or whatever the number is, it's lower. Say, well, how about we offer this home warranty that will cover you for 18 months or cover this home for 18 months.
yeah, I think there's like
It costs you
strips that
$500.
will kind of justify, well, if they just negotiated like their commission, whatever that narrative is, right? If they've already
If they're
negotiated how they're
right.
gonna negotiate for you, so that's actually the perfect time to have that
Right,
conversation.
right.
But I will tell you, I'll warranty your house while I have a listing.
Yeah.
And I'll actually pay for it. I have to say $500, right?
You know, yeah.
I'm just gonna warranty your house while I have a listing, you know what I mean, and then
Mhm.
for a year for the buyer, I'll pay that for them. They don't even need to know the price,
Yeah, no,
Right.
you know,
because it's not gonna be a half a percent on a $500,000 house.
No,
You better off offering the warranty.
and the warranty's like nothing, and sometimes they like that better. I don't even think
Sense of
people,
security.
yeah.
but what I learned was, you know, to discount your rate for one home is not gonna change your your lifestyle for the most part. But at the end of the year,
It's cumulative.
it's killer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I wonder what it would be if you just stuck to the 6% only.
Well, that's what my point was to Lisa. What if we said no?
Right.
Mary Ann says we would have lost more than we think we would have lost.
Last year was a tough one.
I think probably, but
You still had discount brokers, we had a lot to kind of contend with, and we didn't have time to like,
Right.
they were making decisions like that, you know what I mean, like. You know, you may have been able to go in at a 5% and just secure, and they didn't even talk to anybody else, and then you're going in 3 days, you're under agreement, you know, sorry, but like, that's getting paid pretty well.
Yeah.
And you can kind of go on and do some other things with that, you know, money, if, I'm not sure I would have waited a week to try to get my 6% to give it to
Mhm.
2 times, you know, because you would have lost it by that point. So I think those are very good business decisions, but hard to take when we have to recorrect now with the market, but everybody did it,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
So we have a house closing on Friday. We worked for how many years?
I have been working with your client for probably 2.5 years.
And we just got the preliminary closing statement.
Yeah.
And we're making 18,000 and the buyer's agent's making 30
Why?
Yeah.
What?
because we discounted,
Just your
Oh,
side.
because you've known them. for so
because we
long.
put it out at 2.5.
We put it out at 2.5 because
And
that's
we,
only fair, that's what,
The
yeah,
other side.
but we cut our commission.
big time.
Yeah.
But we felt we would have lost it. But after the fact,
That one, yeah. Yeah.
but we left $12,000 on the table.
Well, it is hard because you sit there, you can be right and go, well, listen, I'm glad we didn't take that listing. No, you always take the listing, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not really sure that would be a decision where you go, you know, I feel really good that we lost that listing. So-
No, you know, never have that. But
Even at
right,
18
would
grand,
we have
they-
lost it if we held firm on our fee?
How long did it take to sell?
So it took a little bit, longer than we had.
A week.
expected. Yeah.
2 weeks.
No, because we had it under contract, we went, the first buyers backed out, and then we put it back on the market, and then we sold it again. So I mean, at most like 2.5, 3 weeks.
It was,
you know.
it was a 2.5 year.
But I feel like
Right.
no matter how quickly a home sells, we are on it front, even if it sells, you know.
Yeah.
We're, from beginning to end, we're holding our client's hand, we're.
Well, that's like the
working
one in
100%.
Deerfield right now,
Yeah.
on Deerfield and Yardley, and great sellers, great house, just circumstances, whatever. It's exhausting, it's only been maybe 30, 40 days, I
Yeah.
feel like it's 4 months, I feel like it's 8 months of thinking, it's absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
Well, that's why for the ones that sell so quickly, you still have the ones that don't.
Yeah, the
And
balance
that
of
kinda
it,
balances
yeah.
out, like, you know, you have the easy going wonderful points, then you have the ones that are texting.
But here's what you say, Mary Ann. Here's what you say, because we've had sellers come to us and say, you sold my home in 7 days. Can you reduce the fee?
Yeah.
Can- And we say, well, you know, it took me 30 years to sell your home in 7 days. Because that's how long we've been doing this. And you know, it took me 15 years to sell your home in 7 days. It just doesn't happen.
I feel like it all balances out.
It does, It is hard, but I'm really struggling with, like, to your point, like, I'm looking at you, because I feel like we're kind of very, very similar, you know, volume wise and all, right? So these are the numbers that we just said. I said 75, you guys said 76, but that's fine. I said to JP, like, we should be able to do 76 deals next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the numbers all come out to the same. So I'm with you on that. The correction of the mindset of the sellers, the buyers, the agents is gonna be something we have to get over.
Sure.
Quick. Like, we have to get over that quickly, because I think we're still gonna have a good 2023. I think it's still gonna be good in this year.
Yeah,
I
I would
think it's gonna be pretty solid, an opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the next 12 months will be very similar to the last 12 in terms of units.
Yeah.
And 76 is doable.
It is. And it does, it seems like, you know, for anybody that is new, like 76 sounds so unreasonable, but when you do break it down, you know, it really is very attainable
Well, for us, it's 3 appointments a week
for the two of you.
for the two of
So
us.
you're talking about one agent, and let's say you were okay with 35 deals a year, and then you need 1.5 appointments
Yep,
a month, you know, a week, sorry, you know, you really just, you know, that's what I think is so important, that I've never really broken down into micromanaging your business. It's just, it really is critical, because you get overwhelmed like this by these numbers.
yeah. But if you break your dream
Yeah.
into daily activities, it's so attainable.
Do you guys go on your listing appointments together?
We have not been, so every once in a while we do. I'm really bad at communicating with him. I'm like, hey, listen, I have a listing appointment tonight. Are you available? I mean, talk about
It's
late
like
work.
last minute all the
He's
time.
like, I'm very last minute. I'm like, I'm last minute to bring him in on things, because I'm still in my mind, I just run myself, you know, and that's not good for, you know, for us. So we're trying to kind of make some corrections on that both of us are doing it. In reality, I'm kind of more of a listing agent. He's my buyer's agent. That's the way we're doing it.
Yeah.
That's probably not the most successful, that way that we can do it. We should both be doing listings 100%.
Yeah.
Kind of to your point. And then you share in those buyers. And if we need a buyer's agent, because we have more listings, which is the goal, then
Yeah.
you get a buyer's agent. So that's our mindset to try to do that. Because some of your kids are in the business, right?
They have their license,
They have their license.
but, no, for the most
Not
part,
like on a day-to-day
not on a
basis. yeah.
day-to-day basis, yeah, they're pursuing.
So you guys are
everything.
doing 100%.
Yeah.
But we go on all our listing appointments together.
Yeah,
Because and we find it helpful, because
Yeah.
sometimes, you know, we always connect with everybody, but
Yeah.
sometimes, you know, somebody might.
well, those
"No,
gives you
there,"
time
or
to think, you're talking to someone, you're thinking of the next thing,
Mhm.
and it goes better.
It seems
as
to
well.
work, yeah, we really, it
And
works.
JP and I
well.
think very similarly, so like if I'm, you know, if I'm bringing up something, then he'll bring up something, and it does make it a little bit easier where you know, if somebody catches you off guard, you have somebody else there.
Yeah, or you
Yeah.
just want, you know, she wants to walk you around the house and you want to sit and talk to them, like, it's just,
Yeah,
it's helpful.
And you're branded as a team, anyway. Together.
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
that?
They're branded as a team, so they're going as a team.
Right, and so I've been kind of, like, you'll see my marketing now, I changed the picture of just me. And I had the team, which I had other people on my team too, but, I'm kind of rebranding with just with JP and I.
Yes.
Because it's been the O'Keefe team, but now I hear I'm not allowed to do that, so I'm like, I don't know, it has to be a name, right, what's your name?
Larry and Lisa Linsky real estate team.
Yes, yeah, I don't think that's, I was told I wasn't allowed to do that, so. That's where I was confused, because they had to have one name. And I
Yeah.
thought, well, because we're a family, I should be able to do the Mary Ann and JP O'Keefe team, even though it's a mouthful. But I was told I couldn't do that, so.
Because there's two names. It needs one name.
I'm supposed to have one name officially. And
I think
people,
it's like you're only in trouble if somebody really calls you.
Yeah, well, you can't have a fictitious name like
I know, you have to have a.
Bucks County Real Estate Team.
Right.
Can't do that.
I know, but I was told I couldn't have both of us on it, so now it's like, you know, instead of, because I just really wanted the O'Keefe team, which would be fine.
Yeah.
But they said I couldn't do that. And so then I said, okay, the Mary Ann and JP O'Keefe team, I said, we can't do that. So now it's the Mary Ann O'Keefe team, which I didn't want to do, I really,
Right.
you know, I want to do it like you're
Yeah.
doing it. So. It's hard, because it's hard to manage, but I should have asked Heather in the broker meeting. I just rebranded everything and I'm printing everything out.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know,
So what, so after this step, after coming up with how many transactional sides we need, which is a total of 76. the company, Keller Williams, has really two documents, two forms that we utilize to plan our year and our month and our week. And the first one is, some people know it as the GPS, and some call it the 135. Yes, have you heard of the 135? And just today. Okay, so the GPS, which is, what does it mean? It means goals, priorities, and strategies. Yes. So here's our GPS, or 135. One is your goal, like your one thing, your main goal for the year. 3 are your 3 priorities to hit your goal. And then 5 would be the 5 strategies to hit each priority. Yes. So our one thing, right? One thing for the year is what? So we made it more accountability wise. We came up 100 listing appointments, because if we could go on 100 listing, we're going to blow by $1 million, honestly. But that's our goal. We have never gone on 100 listing appointments in a year. This year we'll end at 60-some, 65 maybe, whatever. 68 is what we're projecting to end. 68 listing appointments. So our goal, our one thing for the new year, is 100 listing appointments. To do that, we have 3 priorities. Priority number 1 is we're each going to connect with 40 people.
In your sphere. All right.
So I'm going to get to that. We're going to connect with 40 people. We're going to each host 2 to 3 open houses a month. And we're going to mail out 1,500 pieces a month. So we're going to get to that. Those are going to be now I'm going to break down my priorities with strategies, which will answer your question. So to get my 100, these are the only 3 things. Now we're going to do other things, right? But these things come first. Before we post on social media, or before we buy a lead, we're going to make certain that these 3 priorities are met each and every day, week, and month. Yes. So 40 connections a week, for the most part, is connecting with 8 people a day, 8 to 10 people a day. We want to do 2 open houses a month each. And we want to send out mail to our sphere of influence, or I'll get to that. Now, based on our track record, if we do these 3 priorities consistently throughout the year, we really should hit 100 listing appointments. Yes. Okay, hold that thought. We're going to come around.
And are you build in like your time off into
So yeah, based on our numbers, we need to go on 3 appointments, buyer and seller, and/or seller appointments a week for 44 weeks. So we built in 8 weeks off.
So last year when we took off, we were like off, we weren't working. I mean, other than clients that listings that we had and stuff like that, but we weren't
Generating business.
anything. So this year we actually decided that we are going to be like over the holidays coming up, we're going to be in Florida. We have a place and instead of just saying we're not going to be prospecting, we decided we're going to take 2 hours a day and we are going to prospect. We're going to wake up in the
Well, we're going
morning.
to connect with 8 people a day.
Yeah, do our thing, but come back for 2 hours in the afternoon and actually, work instead of just letting it go, because judging by the numbers, like we fell off last year. I mean, you need time off. You do need time off, but we're gonna be away for like 2-3 weeks.
That's what makes you guys good. You feel terrible when you feel that.
We're so like disciplined, it's sick. But we had a good time last year, but I think that, the time that we took off was, if we want to hit these goals, then, we have to do it.
So these are our 3 priorities. Nothing else. I mean, this is it. These 3 priorities, based on our track record, based on our conversion rate, should yield 100 listing appointments. And in turn, over $1 million in GCI. So then what we did is we have 5 strategies for each priority. So for our 40 connections each week, we are going to call our sphere of influence. So we have a database of our sphere of influence. We're going to make neighborhood calls, and I'll talk to that in 1 minute. Our past customers, right? We have a couple hundred past customers. We've gone on a number of listing appointments that haven't listed yet over the years. So we're going to get back in touch with those people. And we're going to follow up with every open house visitor 3 times. And if we can't get an appointment after the 3rd connection, we're going to throw the lead away. Because we don't want to collect people, open house registries, right? There's just too many.
If you can get 1 client, my goal is to get 1 client for every open house that I do. 1 client, whether I'm working with them to show them houses or, whatever it is, 1 client to work with. The open houses are amazing. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything and,
Instead of the time well spent.
oh.
These are open houses
I mean, if you.
that you're not
if
listing,
the
right?
sign-in list, if you throw it out.
Say that again?
You're not,
You follow
these aren't
up
your
and-
listings at the open houses. You're going to other agents. Oh,
So we'll do our own listings first.
yeah.
If we don't have a listing,
Plus you would-
then we'll try and do some of the, yeah.
I was trying to.
So we want to do 2 or 3 open houses a month. We typically do them on a Saturday and a Sunday. Neighborhood calls. So if we run out of people to call based on our sphere of influence, our past customers, we then go to what we call neighborhood calls. Yeah. So I'll tell you what we do. It's kind of what you mentioned yesterday about 5, 10, 5. So we call the 5 neighbors to the right of the home, the 5 neighbors to the left of the subject property, and the 10 neighbors across the street for the most part. So we get them from Cole Realty Resource. We subscribe to Cole. It's COLE. It's not a wonderful resource in terms of accuracy. Yeah, but it's reasonable. I mean, we are able to call enough people.
I'm always disappointed when I print out the call list, like, the numbers, the amount of numbers that they have. And I'm, the one part of the landlines, no one uses the landlines.
Yeah.
Maybe Red X is better.
Actually, that was a question I had, and this is big, because I don't know the answer. I'm going to check with Red X to find out if they are cells and landlines or just landlines. That would be the
Yeah.
critical part.
There are mobiles on Cole, but for the most part, we call, and it's a very, basic conversation, these neighborhood calls. We wake up in the morning, which is a good thing, and we go to Trend or Bright, and we look to see what homes in our primary market went under contract yesterday. So we pull up like Council Rock and maybe Pennsbury and Central Bucks, and we see the homes that went under contract yesterday. And then we print out the full listing. So we have all the information in front of us. And then we go to Cole Realty Resources and we pull the neighborhood. And then we call. My name is Larry with Keller Williams Real Estate. I'm just calling to let you know your neighbor's home went under contract yesterday. It was on the market for 7 days. The real estate market remains strong. Sellers are still getting top dollar. Who do you know interested in selling their home? And we hang up and we call the next one.
I find if you call for a reason, like your neighbor, rather than just hi, my name is Lisa Minsky, if you're interested, more of a general, you don't get a great response. But if you call for a reason, people are definitely much more interested and willing to talk to you.
But based on your conversation with us yesterday at the panel, all your business comes from, a good majority of it comes from referral. You could literally double your business if you put JP on this.
Thank you, Larry. I'll pay you later. No, I will say, like, we're not the best. I think, I sat with Heather this morning, and like, I don't prospect. She goes, you do. You just don't realize you do. You know what I mean? It's just not deliberate timeframe, this is the task, that kind of thing, so I'm literally, because she said, what do you do in a day? I said, I can break down what my day tomorrow will look like or today.
Yeah.
Which is really poor.
So if you add an hour of prospecting a day,
Right.
like literally.
We've got a whole long list of things we're trying to add, but even just, 10% of them.
Well, here's what I've learned over the years, and it absolutely holds true, is if you start your day servicing your business, you'll never get to prospecting. But if you start your day prospecting, somehow all your servicing gets done.
Yeah, it is true.
You
Like,
can
we wake
get,
up in the morning, like, I'm fine, like, I wake up in the morning, like, my phone's up, like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm already.
Just dealing with that shit, that's how you start.
right, but if you started your day with prospecting for an hour or two, somehow the servicing is gonna get done. Still gonna get
They're
done,
be calling you.
but yeah, but you start your servicing at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, still gonna get done.
See, Larry's better is just putting it off a little bit, where I'm like, if I get a text from a client, like I have to get on it right away. I have to take care of,
I still think I'm probably gonna
Yeah.
do that first, like,
Yeah.
just, like, I think I have to have a clear mind to do the prospecting, but, I'm like very.
I'm the same way.
Yeah,
I'm saying that.
we were saying that when we were doing it that way too, so.
So we
I understand
generally
that, like, I'm
separately and that counts into one group.
Yeah.
So these numbers are separate. So when I say we're gonna 40 connections each week,
Yeah.
2 to 3 open houses each month,
Is that for you?
that's for each of us. But not this, this is together.
Yeah, but you each have to.
Yeah, to do $1 million, yes.
And then December.
Yeah. So it's 80 connections a week to make $1 million. Yeah. 2 to 3 each. But this is collectively, this is total. Okay. So my strategies for our open houses, we're gonna call to invite the neighbors. We're gonna continue to do signs and balloons. I'm a huge advocate of balloons. We put out a lot of signs. We put balloons on all of our directional signs. I can't tell you how many times people make mention of our signs. The perception is on the weekend, we have a lot more business than we really have. If we're holding one home open and there's 8 directional signs, it looks like a lot more than it is. Like
Will
it's,
you order what? How many balloons? 2 dozen?
yeah, we ordered, we have a lot of signs and a lot of balloons every week. I have an account at Party Fair. And I call them in the morning and they're ready for me when I get there and I don't have to wait in line. I walk in, I grab my balloons, I walk out and they bill me monthly.
Where is that again?
Newtown,
What is it?
Party Fair,
Oh,
Party Fair. Handwrite, and then we want to send out handwritten notes to everybody that attends with a thank you card, our business card, and just a quick thank you. And just keep sellers at top of mind. Most people we find have to sell before they can buy. Yes, most people. So we want to, even though they're coming into an open house, we want to keep in mind that they probably have something to sell if they're not a first-time home buyer. So if there's a way,
You're asking them? Or is
yeah,
that for yourself?
no, we're asking, do you have something to sell?
No, when they first come into the open house.
No, but we want to be cognizant of the fact that can we get their listing appointment? We want 100 listing appointments. The
I
buyers,
think your question is like, you kind of say, I usually say, do you live local?
No, you're aggressive already.
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, if they say they live local, they.
yeah.
So your main goal of your open house is to get another listing from the people.
We just want to be cognizant of it because our one thing is what? 100 listing appointments.
My main goal is just to get one person to work with. I don't care if they're a buyer or a seller or whatever. I just want to connect with one person. Maybe not at the appointment, but somebody that I can follow up with later on
From
in
the
the day or
open
the
house.
next day. Yeah, yeah.
Do you always feel like you have enough open house opportunities with your own listings?
So we had a good year listing, right? Right now, we don't have everything's under contract. So it's kind of,
Yeah.
but we had a good run where we were able to, the timing of our listings hitting the market, and we kind of worked that through so that we could hold it open the first weekend.
And we do Saturday and Sunday.
Yes,
We do Saturday and Sunday too. Because for the same purpose, it's gonna be sold probably.
Yeah.
Next week, right, so you were trying to stay on to your point, yeah.
And then the mailings, we're gonna 1,500 mailings, basically to our database. We're gonna use oversized postcards. We are gonna do just sold. So after it closes, we're sending out just sold. And
It's the
And
same,
again-
it's the same database or like.
no, not the database, to a radius,
100.
yeah, 100 or 200, 100 or 200.
She's posting.
I run all that. My just solds go right through Caitlin.
What do you mean?
She does them.
It comes from,
It comes from, I don't know where she does them.
Oh, they-
Command or somewhere.
oh, they just bill you through your monthly command?
Yeah. No, it hits my credit card.
Oh, that,
Hits my credit card. And
I think she mentioned that.
yeah, and Caitlin manages it. I don't even remind her. She does it.
That's cool.
So she knows when something closes, it goes out.
It's geographic mail.
Yeah, it's a geographic mail.
What are those costs typically?
I know it's $189 every time she sends one, and I think I'm getting 200. I think I'm getting 200 mailers, just sold cards for $189.
And that they usually are consistent with the number, so if you said 189.
It's always like $189.
It's probably 189 homes.
Okay. Yeah,
Right?
but she does a radius search of the listing.
Because I did that and that's exactly what it looks like. It's like $1 per home.
Okay,
So you
okay.
pay like $200. Some probably get over 200.
Yeah. So this is our business plan. Right? It's so simple.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
It's not a 10-page business plan or
Not so much data.
this is it. This is our business plan. And what's crazy, isn't it, is that this business plan can yield $1 million of income. Lisa, stay with us. So this is our business plan. We kept it to one page. It's a one-page $1 million business plan. It's kind of so simple. Not easy, but so simple.
And you're obviously disciplined.
Yeah.
Well, we could be much better. I don't think that this is,
That's the weapon, that's it now.
no, we could be, we
Our
could,
personalities are like.
It's good.
discipline.
That's who we are, that is business for sure.
and then we put together a 411, which is 4 represents the weeks in the month, 1 represents the month in the year, and then the 1 represents the year. So it's 1 year, 1 month, 4 weeks, 411. So I look at it as my 30-day plan, where the GPS is your annual layout, right? Your one thing, your 3 priorities, and then strategies for each priority over the course of a year. This is a monthly, like a 30-day plan. And here's what my 30-day plan looks like. So I broke it up for you. So the top, which is the annual goal, that's the 1. 76 transactions for 40 million will yield the GCI of $1 million. We got to get 57 listings, well, 100 listing appointments, but if we hit that, we'll blow all these numbers away. But ultimately 57 listings, 46 of them sell, 30 buyer side for a total of 76 transactions. And then what I did is I just created a little grid to track our year-to-date production. So again, listing appointments, 100. I divided it by 12 months, so we need to do 8 in January, listing appointments. We want a total of 57 listings, we need to get 5 in January. We want 46 of them to sell, we have to have 4 sold listings in January. Anyway, we need a total of 7 under set, like 6.5, but can't get a half, so we rounded up to 7. So we need 7 transactions a month, which is what? 84, really. We don't need 84. We'll take 84, but we only need 76. And then we'll track them as the year, at the end of every month where we are. So that's our annual goal. Our monthly goal or our monthly 30-day plan is basically what we're gonna do to get there. Couple in addition, what priorities are. And then we broke it down into each week of the month, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. That's the 411.
Do they change?
So it changes monthly, but not a lot, because there's some seasonal things we do. But for the most part, it doesn't really change all that much.
What kind of coffee lunch are you doing?
So we just want to take a past client out for coffee or somebody from our sphere. So Lisa took somebody out, a past customer this week and got a lead.
Yeah, Larry likes doing that. I mean, I get to go with my friends and like if someone's selling or buying, they'll come to me. So I just do it, just normally socializing, not making a conscious effort to, hey, you want to have coffee for that reason. But I did it last week because Larry likes to do that. And he's actually right. Like if you're calling past clients out and you want to meet for a cup of coffee.
And you got to talk about real estate. And
Yeah, well, it's not like the first
You
topic,
can blend
first
it.
thing you talk
Yeah, yeah.
about. It
Yeah.
does seem, it just naturally comes up.
So what do you tell them when you invite them? Like when you call this client?
No, I just-
Inviting them.
I actually just texted a client and just said, how are you? Haven't seen you in a while. We had talked about getting coffee maybe 3 months ago, and it just never happened. And I just said, before the holidays start, do you want to meet for coffee? And she was like, yeah, I'd love to. And, that was it. And we just met for coffee and I paid for her coffee and we just sat down and talked about everything. But it did come up. She was asking me about a few questions real estate related. And I said, oh, are you asking because you have a friend or somebody that's, looking to buy? And she said, well, actually it's me. And like, she told me, so it
Oh, so
was,
his client turned into current.
it was, yeah, it was interesting. We had, sold her home and then she went into a rental and now she's month to month and looking to buy. And so, yeah, I called her and I was like, you're absolutely right. Like it does that one kind of coffee.
so the goal is to do it a couple times a month. And it doesn't need to be lunch or dinner. Coffee's fine.
We started doing it with people that have just referred us.
Yeah.
They just referred us, then we took them out and we did take them out for dinner.
Yeah.
Not sure, I mean, it was
It's
Nico's, it was
about
like $200.
3.5 hours. to-
Yeah, it's a lot of time. What we do, I don't know, it's
For
probably
referrals.
not legal, right? But what we do is we send a handwritten note with a $50 bill.
For the referrals,
That's cool.
gift cards.
Only
No.
1% didn't like that. Like, sent us.
No, really?
Or you did have
Somebody refused
their money.
Everybody else takes it. They don't.
Well, I guess, it'd probably be better in a gift card.
Yeah.
I just give cash because it's not just,
Like, you can write it off. Why wouldn't you do that?
yeah.
So you lost that $50 write-off.
There's for the lead.
Expenses.
Yeah, you
You
can
didn't
still
write
write
that
it
off.
off. Because I have when I do my account, I do seller concessions and I have a line item on my expenses, gifts.
You'd be surprised how many more referrals you get.
Well, I did hear that, so like I do buy gift cards, and I just usually have them. And so like if you're writing a personal note for whatever reason.
You stick a
can
gift
throw
card
it in, 'cause it's like another stop that I have to
Mhm.
make, so. But I don't love the gift cards either, because they get lost. I'm not,
Yeah.
I get.
I think the cash, the $50 bill,
I know, I'm with you, no.
I used to work with a guy and it worked like a charm what he did. And we don't really do it because but he would do an open house. And he would take, I don't know, let's just use the number 10. I don't remember what the number was, but the 10 best visitors. When I say best, meaning the ones most likely to convert. And in the follow-up note, he put a Wawa gift card. He used to say, they're Wawa worthy. And when he made his follow-up calls, he would say, I'm the guy that sent you the Wawa gift card. And immediately it would be a better call. And he did a lot of business from open houses.
I actually get away from it, and I have them in my bag at the open house, but I don't pick them up, but I have like wine openers with my information on it.
Yeah, yeah.
and my business card, 'cause so
Yeah, something.
they're cheaper,
Yeah.
about 50 or something like that, so that was actually.
We're at the open house.
The open house, just like there.
Not gonna mail one. Why not?
I don't know, you could be anything. But yeah, having like 100 wine openers, that's what I want. Trying to get rid of them.
So that's really our business plan. And then, you know, the challenge is the accountability part of it. So the commitment we have is we're going to meet every Monday. And basically, we're just going to talk about what we did to generate the business last week. What's the plan this week? And we're, you know, here's what we're going to do. So here's the month of January, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, 40 connections, open houses and notes. It's all we're really going to do. And then, you know, mailing campaign, some other stuff. But week 1, we're going to talk about it every Monday. What did you do last week and what are you going to do this week? What did you do last week and what are you going to do this week? Just to stay accountable to each other.
So do you have a time when you're like, up to date with
I'm better at it than Lisa is. Just because, I don't know.
More recently. As he's getting older, he's better at it. Well, I think both of you don't need to do it either, like you're both kind of doing everything together.
Yeah,
She's doing, you know, she's doing.
yeah, we're really interchangeable in that the clients call both of us for the most part, for different things.
Especially if you meet on the listing appointment together.
Yeah.
You've got some people to call.
Yeah,
And we both have our strengths, so we know each other's strengths, so I take, I do what I do and he does what he does and it kind of works together.
Yeah, it's great.
and then the last thing is looking back at our year, you know, some things fall through the cracks, and we're not really good with an electronic management system, right? We're really not that good. Everything is manual. You can see my paperwork. So I think a great thing to do, and I did it early on in my career, is to keep my top 5 buyers and my top 5 potential sellers with me all the time. So this is really what we do. So we carry this all the time, our top 5 buyers and our top 5 potential sellers, and we call them every day for the most part until they buy or they what. Right. And when we sell, they come off and we put a new one on. So I think it's important yet and manageable to work with 5 buyers and 5 potential sellers. We'll keep in touch with everyone else, but these 5.
It's a fluid document, it's changing as you sell.
It does change and you write on it,
As they move on.
but you keep it in your pocket because this is our business this month. We need to close, 6 to 7 deals a month.
And you guys handle your own transactions too.
We do.
You also have one.
Kayla?
Transactional coordinator. So, yeah, we do. And I think we can do 100, the 76, 70, I think we can manage 76. More than that, we may need help.
We talk about it from time to time.
Sometimes we have 15 deals going on and another time you have.
Right.
Right.
It's like,
Exactly.
I think the thing is that's kind of where the balanced life and the non-balanced life is, because it is hard to keep up with anything more than like 40 or 50 deals. Because
But they don't all happen at the same time.
I feel like I run like a 7-month business.
Yeah.
It's 5 months that are sold, of course I don't do transaction coordinator, but it's the, 5 to 6 months that you really do. So I kind of made the decision that I just want that consistency.
No, I think it's great. Larry is extremely organized. He has an accounting background, so he has everything, so if you don't have that, I think a transaction coordinator is great, yeah.
But I mean, when you're doing a lot, when you have a lot going on, like I always have, folders and the Smiths folder is in the Joneses, and the Joneses, I mean, so there's that, but
Lost me in folders.
like online, like in your computer, like in my laptop, I'm pulling up, and I can't find the agreement of sale I need, it was filed somewhere else.
I think sometimes it's been overlooked that, like, everybody's saying, have this deal or that.
Right, that does happen.
And as transaction coordinator, there's no emotional, whatever there is.
I don't even know that people necessarily involved.
Right.
I think that was the biggest, that was the biggest
Mark.
freedom I've ever had in my career. Was actually having somebody.
You had it you did it where you are?
I,
Assistant, right?
yeah, with the assistant, but again, like, I didn't really need an assistant necessarily all the time either, right? But I definitely needed a transaction coordinator. That transaction coordinator thing was really big for me.
Even like the time consuming conversations with the seller or buyer, where it's just back office stuff that they need, right? Like, you don't need to necessarily be the one calling to them, having the assistant talk to them, whatever, saves you a whole lot of time.
It does, you'd be surprised, like, I was surprised.
You have to have a great transaction
Right.
coordinator to make sure they're like on the ball.
Right.
Well,
Well,
that's,
they have a checklist, right?
well, they have a checklist, correct, but then the biggest thing was, are you a transaction coordinator that would actually have a conversation with my
Right.
buyer or seller when they have a question on the email that you CC'd me on? Yes, that's freedom.
Right.
Because they'll talk for 5 minutes, but if it's you on the phone, they want to talk about everything else, and you're on for 25 minutes, you just,
Or you just being derailed.
Right.
You know what I mean, when you're servicing
Mhm.
all the time, you know what I mean, because that's what I felt like I couldn't really do,
Yeah,
so
right.
I think that's probably the best thing that's worth money.
I agree. We talk about it, but we haven't done
Thank you.
Thanks, Larry.
Very much.
Thanks.
Very, very helpful.
So I did print out some of these documents if you're interested.
I see the pictures, I won't be able to read, I won't be able to do anything.
I was doing the same thing.
But you have
paper. Yes.
I know, but listen, I did do.
Yeah, maybe lay them out.
We're gonna just open them all up here.
I still have to find it. And I need to visually- I don't know if I can.
That's just-
I just need like a
Yeah, that would be the, on the same line.
Is that, yeah.
I'm glad.
Well, it's funny, I had 4 kids, so I was going up to Penn State, and I see the billboard, I see the billboard of you guys, like, what the hell, the Mitzies are in Penn State? We were like, let's just try it, like,
I think
Brandon.
I just went out.
Really
Nice.
did.
Thank you.
Yeah,
weekend.
probably should have continued through the years that they were there. Did you want to do real estate up there?
No,
No.
it was for people that we know driving up.
Yeah, for like people like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, it was only one billboard. It was-
Yeah, that's all I needed. No, our kid was just going up there, I think at the time, and we were like, let's just do a billboard, because we felt like we knew so many people. You know,
Yeah.
That was a great idea.
So,
That
yeah.
was a great idea. Yeah, we bought a place up there in 2018, where I have 2 girls that just turned 24 yesterday.
Thank you.
They.
Bye-bye.
chose
Thank you.
to make campus
Okay.
as juniors.
Thank you.
And, so I bought the place, but then COVID hit. So it was like no school, and then it was like going remote or whatever, but I still have a place and I do practice for football games.
Oh, you do?
I do, yeah.
I do, sure.
It's, you know where you guys got this? So the Bean Course,
Yeah,
and, I'm right across the street from the Bean Course, so it's far, in my opinion, from the stadium.
Yeah.
Right, because you still have a mile and a half just to get to the campus.
Yeah.
which is Great.
now, JP, you went to Penn State.
Then,
Yeah.
So what year did you graduate?
15.
So where are we? We're in 22. What year did Matthew graduate?
Matthew graduated, oh, man, I'm so bad.
He's 20, he's gonna
6.
be 27 in February.
So he's Danny.
He's Danny's age, so my Danny, all 4 of my kids went, so.
Danny graduated from
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 17 and
So
then
where did you
so
go to
graduated.
school?
Notre Dame High School in Jersey.
Awesome.
What did you study at Penn State?
This is gonna have my set with,
Yeah. And I got,
Heather.
I had an accounting job for
And,
maybe 8 months.
like,
and I was
again,
like,
this is like
screw
basics.
this.
This is everything I do. I said, well, I already have that. She's right, well, then write it down. I'm like, all right,
Well,
so.
he-
That's it.
he
Yeah, it's so
graduated
simple.
Ryder,
Yeah.
Okay.
with an accounting degree, and he says the same thing.
Yeah.
He talks about like the boxes, boxes and boxes, he had to reconcile and all of
Yeah.
this, and he was like, okay, this is not me.
Yeah, I was doing like internal audit and it was boring.
Terrible.
It's brutal. But
We can understand
I
that.
made the right choice, I think.
Why does Tom Kennedy look like a memorial?
I know, I was thinking the same
I
thing.
know, like, why does Tom's,
I think someone must have done that.
he's just on vacation, he didn't go to. He wanted to make sure he was here for all the meetings. Yeah, maybe he has like a, oh, he probably has like a camera in there.
Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you, that was very helpful.
Good luck, guys. Thanks.
Happy holidays, welcome to the office.
Thank you.
Happy
Yes.
holidays to you too.
You always make it seem so easy.
Does
I
he
mean, I
know?
know it's not, but
That's how he pitches it to me too.
you always, very easy. I mean, the way you break it down.
I don't know, if you shoot high, even if you don't hit those goals, you're gonna fall somewhere, higher than you would have if you don't set those goals. That's what I learned. You're
Well,
not you, but everybody. I feel like if you shoot, if you set your goals high.
But these goals are attainable if we work the plan, right?
accountability is the key.
Accountability.
You can make it look super simple, but if you don't stay accountable,
Right.
then it doesn't. And especially if you don't stay accountable from day one, because if
Yeah.
you're not from day one, then you're already behind.
Well, you're already right, because if you don't make your 8 connections today,
And you have to be
you're not
consistent.
making 16 tomorrow or 24 the following day. You just
You're
kind of
already
lose.
behind. So, yeah, that's one of the things I'm really looking for, is that accountability, right? I mean,
Well,
that's,
how I look at it sometimes is like like I said, I left a job that I had to be clocking in at 5 o'clock as a pharmacist. I had to clock in at 5 o'clock in the morning. I worked for mail order for about 14 and a half years. And in order to get done with my day at a normal hour, I'd have to be accountable to clock in at 5 o'clock in the morning and work until